afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on this very warm day here in Calgary. I'm Chantal DeYoung. I'm the MLA for Chestermere Strathmore, and as many of you know, Strathmore has been an original and remains to be one of the key agricultural hubs in southern Alberta. It is great to be here today at the Calgary Stampede, a signature event for Alberta and an important one for the agriculture industry. The Stampede is more than just an exciting couple weeks of midway rides, concerts, and rodeo events. It's been one of the biggest working agricultural affairs in our province for more than a century. And given the Stampede's instrumental support of agriculture, it's fitting that we are here today to announce our government's joint investment into the Alberta beef sector. Today, we are joined by R.J. Sigerson, Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation, Lawrence McCauley, Federal Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food, and Brodie Hogan, General Manager of Alberta Beef Producers. Well, without further delay, I'd like to first welcome Minister McCauley to the podium to kick us off.
Thank you very much, Chantal, and hello everyone. It's certainly a pleasure to be back at the Calgary Stampede, the greatest outside show in the world. And to be here, it's a privilege. And I understand that you'll probably be setting an all-time record for attendance, all which is so great. It's so much work put into making this such a great event, and I congratulate everybody. It's great to be here with Minister Singleton and the agriculture and the Alberta beef producers. I certainly had quite a few busy days since I arrived here around Alberta, and I finally got to the Stampede. And I have to say, I'm very pleased to have the white hat on again and to be here as your minister. I also like to thank Brodie and everyone from the Alberta beef producers for your commitment to the sector. You folks are doing an amazing job of showcasing Alberta beef around the world. All told, Alberta beef producers create jobs in communities right across the province and drive billions of dollars in export. Over the past 5 years, the value of Canada's beef exports have nearly doubled to around $5 billion. When I'm visiting our customers around the world, they know what they're getting. They know they're getting the very best in safe, top quality, sustainable beef products. And the majority of these come directly from Alberta. I know I have a strong partner here in Minister Singleton, and we'll keep working hard together to make sure we help the industry here in Alberta. And that includes supporting the vitally important programs like the Verified Beef Production Plus initiative. The program helps Alberta producers maintain the highest standard for food safety, animal care, biosecurity, and environmental partnership. And today I'm so pleased to announce a new shared investment of nearly $2 million, so Alberta beef producers can continue their great work on delivering this program to producers and help them build on their already very high standards. This investment is being made through our Sustainable Canadian Agricultural Agreement, which is helping to deliver over $500 million to Alberta producers and processors till 2028. I also know that both Minister Singleton and I want to make Canada the supplier of choice for our customers around the world. On Monday, I was at the Canadian Beef Centre of Excellence to announce over $6 million in federal funding to grow and maintain our valuable exports. And then a few months ago, I opened the first ever agricultural trade office in the Indo-Pacific. The world wants what we produce here in Canada, especially our top quality beef. So Minister, thank you for working with me to continue our support for a Verified Beef Production Plus. And now it's a great pleasure for me to introduce your Minister of Agriculture, Minister Singleton. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks, Minister McCauley, for that introduction. As everyone here, I'm sure, is aware, Alberta truly is a beef province, and it's great to be here today at the Calgary Stampede, the greatest show on earth, a show that's been happening for decades and decades, over a century. promoting agriculture here in the province of Alberta, which really is, agriculture is at the core of Alberta. It's a part of our history. It's a part of our culture. Now, of course, Alberta is the largest cattle producing province in Canada with 4.8 million head of cattle and calves, just shy of half of the entire national total. So it's no surprise that beef is our largest export among agri-food products. In 2023, beef exports reached an all-time high of 3.9 billion, 22% of the province's total agri-food exports. All that to say, the beef industry is a pillar of our economy, and our government is committed to supporting it in every way that we can. And so today I'm pleased to announce the government of Alberta and the government of Canada are providing Alberta beef producers with almost 1.9 million through the Sustainable Canadian Agricultural Partnership to build upon its on-farm food safety and sustainable program, as well as the Verified Beef Production Plus. Since 2003, this training and certification program has recognized its farmers and ranchers across Canada for their commitment to food safety, biosecurity, and environmental stewardship. In fact, 1 in 5 beef animals in Alberta have been raised on a VBP Plus certified farm. Through the program, producers learn about industry best practices and get ideas to increase the resiliency of their operations against risks. And with this investment, Alberta beef producers will increase awareness of the program across the province to make it easier and cheaper than ever for farmers and ranchers to lead the way in food safety, animal care, biosecurity, and environmental stewardship. I'll highlight just a few of the changes that are going to be coming as a result of this funding. They're going to have new outreach efforts that will see Alberta beef producers working with industry partners like agricultural societies and ag fieldmen to organize at least 30 community events over the next 4 years. They're going to have new education activities for 4-H Alberta that will help prepare the next generation of farmers and ranchers to produce and implement industry best practices into their farming operations. And I'm thrilled that these grants will fund targeted engagement with our Indigenous partners as well here in the province of Alberta. Another initiative being funded through Sustainable Canadian Agricultural Partnership is a new incentives program that will make it easier for producers to improve their operations and get certified through VBP Plus. Now, VBP Plus certified farm operations will have access to up to $5,000 for approved expenses like installing wildlife exclusion fences to minimize disease spread or subscribe to herd management software. Today's funding, of course, was made possible through the Sustainable Canadian Agricultural Partnership, a cost-shared federal provincial investment of $508 million. Over the next 5 years. This important framework supports continued innovation, growth, and prosperity for Alberta's agriculture and agri-food industries, such as the great work that Alberta beef producers is doing right now here in our province of Alberta. So thank you, Brody, to you, ABP, all your volunteers, and your organization for your continued advocacy in such an important agricultural industry in our province. Now, to talk more about these exciting projects, I'm going to bring to the stage Brody Hogan, Chair of the Beef Producer Board of Directors. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Brody. Thanks.
As one of the largest producers of beef in North America, Alberta stands at the forefront of the meat industry. Alberta's beef industry provides over 55,000 jobs for Albertans and contributes more than $4 billion to our provincial GDP. Over 400 Alberta operations representing more than 1 million cattle are audited through a program called Verified Beef Production Plus. We want to see this number grow. By participating in Verified Beef Production Plus, producers validate their commitment to essential practices like food safety, animal care, biosecurity, environmental stewardship, and the human aspect, such as farm safety, mental health, and community involvement. Verified Beef Production Plus is more than a certification. It's a promise to consumers that our beef meets the highest standards. The program enhances transparency, helps to identify areas for continual improvement, and aligns with sustainable indicators. Alberta Beef Producers is excited and grateful for the support to expand training extension opportunities and introduce new financial incentives for participation. The growth of this program will benefit cattle operations, producers, and our provinces. And thank you to Minister Sigurdsson and Minister McCauley.
Okay, we'll now open the floor for questions. You're welcome. For those in the room and on the phone, if you could please state your name and outlet, and we'll be doing one question and one follow-up today. Okay, don't see anyone in the room, so we'll move to the phones.
I'm here.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's all. Hi, Laurence with Radio Canada. So with this funding, how a new report by University of Calgary was showing how beef producers were making on average $50,000 in profit annually. How is this this new funding is going to address that, the cost of production?
Well, listen, we understand how important it is to continue to support our farmers and ranchers. When we talk about food affordability and food security, it's definitely at the forefront of the conversations around the entire globe. When we look at everything that we work hand in hand in with our farmers and ranchers, we also understand that the best way for them to be able to improve their operations is to look at incentives, really to put forward to them additional opportunities to improve the sustainability, environmental sustainability of their operations, as well as make sure that we maintain the highest levels of biosecurity and education, safety, and that's really a big part of what we're announcing here today. So when we're working with the beef industry on this, they get a chance to be a part of different programs. VBP Plus is a part of that program right now. We want to continue to grow that program. And really when it comes to through a lot of this educational piece, there is new ways that they can adopt and be able to monitor their cattle, raise their cattle, take care of their land. And with that, we're seeing profitability come a long way with that as well. And with that, it's all about environmental stewardship as well. I think they agree. So that's really what we're trying to do here. And ABP has been a long-standing partner in our province. And being able to provide them the funding in this manner so that they can go out to the industry and work hand in hand with them goes a long way to continuing to strengthen the beef industry here in the province.
Thank you. And one follow-up on that. So if I'm understanding correctly, that 2 million or 1.9 million?
1.9.
Okay, yeah. 1.9 million. It's going to go through education, but is it going to make it cheaper to also get that certification, the VBP certification?
Well, it's gonna cover off some of the expenses, yeah. So, like I said, the VBP Plus certified farmer operations will, once they get to that point, will have additional opportunities for up to $5,000 for some of the expenses to be able to increase biosecurity. But through that educational piece, which is one important part of that, is being able to get out to our farmers and ranchers and be able to tell them the benefits of being VBP Plus certified. And once they see that, what it helps is the adoption to get more and more of our ranchers across the province to take part in that program, which I think is better for the industry as a whole and continues to strengthen the industry.
Thank you.
Sean Bolzer, Western Standard. Recently, Denmark introduced its tax on livestock emissions that some people are calling a fart tax, but without being glib, are there plans, like what are some of the steps that the government is taking to manage emissions from livestock, and would it be considering a fart tax?
I'll start, and then do you want to augment on this? I first want to start by saying, listen, we see a lot of the moves that are happening globally, and I'll tell you flat out right now, Alberta beef producers are leading the world. We're already at less than half the intensity of raising beef than the global average. Our beef industry as a whole, through different feed schedules, working hand in hand with Alberta Veterinary Medical Association, our research associations, we've already decreased methane production. What I have to say flat out is, we continue as a province to say, listen, we're going to work hand in hand with our beef producers. We're going to provide you incentives, and through that, we see them come along and we do the research first. They take a look at the ways to be able to improve their operations, to decrease their footprint. And that's really an important piece to understand. Our farmers and ranchers have been true stewards at moving in this direction long before anybody said sustainable farming. Long before anybody was talking about reducing emissions, our farmers and ranchers were already doing that work. So as a province of Alberta, we continue to look forward to expand ways to be partners in that work, provide them additional opportunities to be able to invest in their land through resilient agricultural landscape program that deals with cross fencing to help rotational grazing, protection of riparian areas. Partnerships that we have with the federal government through the Sustainable Canadian Agricultural Partnership. There's a lot of opportunities for grants there for industries, our agencies, boards, commissions, our farmers and ranchers to take part of, so that they can continue to advance the environmental stewardship on their land. And I think it's important that we continue to do that. They are price takers, not price makers. They compete on a global scale. We have to make sure that they're profitable. When our farmers and ranchers are profitable, they have the capital they need to be able to innovate and invest in new technology. And that's incredibly important to the strength of the industry. And that's why we look forward and are excited about announcements such as we're making today.
I believe it was back at COP28 last November. Environment Minister Jabot was talking about methane emissions caps from livestock. Do you have any more details on that and how that would work or apply to the beef industry?
Well, like I said, we're focused on working hand in hand on moving forward with research data and working hand in hand with our beef producers. I have no intentions of trying to put that kind of a stress on our ranchers right now when they're already leading the world. Like I said, they're at less than half of the global average for intensity for beef production right now, and they continue to invest in new technologies and innovate. We're going to work as a government hand in hand to make sure that we are a part of being, aiding them through the work that they want to do. When we work together like this, we're going to accomplish more. And that's why announcements like this are a direct partnership to put money over to ABP and allow them to continue to do more education and look at additional ways to be able to improve farming operations across the province. I might turn it over to Minister McCauley if he wants to comment a little bit more on what happened at COP and as far as emissions caps. So.
No, I'd just like to say, of course, the announcement today is so vitally important, as RJ has just indicated. What farmers and ranchers are fully there. If you take care of the land will take care of you, and nobody understands that better than farmers and ranchers. And the fact is, what this announcement today is all about is making sure that they're more informed as to how they can indicate to the public and inform themselves of how they can probably farm and ranch it in a more efficient manner. Nobody wants to farm or ranch more efficiently than farmers and ranchers. You're fully aware they cut the emissions by half. They will continue to cut emissions. It's our job as governments to make sure we give them the tools to do that. We have and will continue to do that, and that's what's part of what this is about today, is to make sure that people understand Alberta beef is the best quality beef in the world, and we want to make sure that we know we're in a global race with the world. We know that everybody's competing for the market. We're starting in first place. We got the best quality product in the world, and we want to make sure that we continue to advance. And working together, we will do that.
Okay, we'll move to the phones. A reminder to press *1 to enter the queue. Operator, can you put through our first caller?
Certainly. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now take questions from the telephone lines. Please dial *1 on your device keypad to register. If you wish to cancel your question, you can do so by dialing *2. Please dial *1 at this time, and there will be a brief pause while participants register. Once again, please dial *1 if you have a question at this time. There are no questions from the phone lines at the moment.
And that ends today's news conference. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your conference is now ended. All callers are asked to hang up their lines at this time, and thank you for joining today's call.